Hi all. So this is the first part of the video where we will discuss different examples of using the keyword positions detail in order to restrict the number of entries that you can take in a strategy. All right. So if you want to restrict the number of trades for a particular stock or maybe if you're trading in options, then we will see how to do that through these examples. So the first strategy example that we are going to see is the 1PD trending stocks. This is the name of the strategy that I've given. It's just a random name that I've given, and this is the strategy basically. So the reason why I've given deployed this strategy is to show what kind of trades it has taken and how we have restricted the number of trades that it takes. All right. So we will just go through the strategy condition. So what this strategy does is basically it's a list of stocks. The set number 1 is for the buy side entry on a list of stocks. The set number 2 is for the sell side entry on a list of stocks. So on the buy side, the entry value for each stock in the list is 5,000 rupees. So if there are 4 stocks, it will buy 5,000 value of each stock. So that will be total for 4 stocks will be basically 20,000 rupees value of the trade. All right. And on the sell side also will be the same, that we will be selling each stock worth 5,000. So total 4 stocks will be around 20,000 value of the total trade. All right. So the trade restriction requirement for this particular example is that we will enter all stocks that are there in the list on the buy side of the trade only once, and also on the short side we will enter all stocks on the sell side of the trade only once. So the solution for the buy side is basically this formula, where we will be putting positions detail entry buy all value list name is equal to number 0, and on the sell side, since it is sell, it will be positions detail entry s all value list name is equal to number 0. So the differentiation between the two formulas, as you can see, this is the buy and this is the sell one. All right. So we will see now with a practical example how we have created this strategy. So in order to check the strategy conditions for this, we will just go to the edit section of this strategy. So once on the edit page, we will see the formulas. So for example, as we discussed, so this is set number 1, that is for buying a list of stocks. So this is the list of stocks that we have created, right? So I will just show you what is there in this list. So if I click on view, as you can see, I have selected 4 stocks that are to be traded. So that is TCS, Tata Motors, Infi and Reliance. This is the name of the stock that I've list that I have given. This is the list name, trending stocks July, and I have created this list. So you can create a list from here, as you would already know. So once I've created this list, what I want to do is I want to enter into the buy side of this particular list only one time, and from the set number 1, and from set number 2 I want to sell the list of stocks only one time. All right, so this is for the sell part and set number 1 is for the buy part. So we will see the buy side entry for this particular list of stocks. So we are taking this trade on the buy side between 9:25 and 2:58 p.m. I will just zoom in to make it a little more clearer. So between this time we are taking the trade. At the same time we are checking that the net quantity of any of the positions. So there should not be any open position from the set number 111 and set number 211. All right. So only when the quantity is already not traded, then only it will take the trade. And we are checking a simple super trend crossover condition, where super trend crossover, the close of the candle on a 1 minute basis is greater than the super trend value of 5-2 in the -1 candle, and in the -2 candle the close of the super trend close of the candle is less than the super trend. So that is basically the crossover condition, where it has crossed over from the -2 to -1 candle, and it's an upside crossover of super trend. So after that, what we want to do is basically we are restricting the number of trade. That is basically in positions detail, what we have selected is as you can see, we have selected condition type as entry, transition type as buy. We have 2 options, right? 3 options, all buy and sell. So since we want to restrict the buy entry to only once, we have selected buy on the first set, and we do this is basically for call and put, but this is since the list of stocks we will select all. Over here we can select either value or quantity. So this example is basically for value. So we will select value, and the list will be this is the list that we have created, and we have selected that as the underline. So that is the list, and is equal to number 0. So what this will do is it will restrict the entry of all the stocks in this particular list to only once on the buy side. All right, and now let's go to the position builder. So this is the left hand side, this is the right hand side. Let's just go to the positions builder. So over here we are basically buying each stock worth 5,000. So if you put value as 5,000, what it will do is it will buy each stock whenever the condition is met. It will buy each stock with worth 5,000. All right, stock trending MIS and basically value of 5,000. And whenever we are exiting, we are basically just a simple short side crossover that we have put. So this is basically whenever there is a downside crossover, we are selling this. All right, and on the short side, what we are doing is over here, in order to sell the stock one time, what we have done is the same entry condition as we have in the first set, where we are checking the time and also the net quantity traded instrument name of 111 and 1211 should be 0. And we are also checking that there is a downside crossover. That is basically this exit of set number 1 will be the entry of set number 2. So that is basically the downside crossover where close is less than the super trend and in the -1 candle, and close is greater than the super trend in the -2 candle. All right, and here SB is checking, this is basically positions detail for the sell part, where it's entry, right? Because this is a short side entry. All right, entry of sell position, all value for the list of stocks is equal to number 0. So let's just see, and this is basically the list of stocks. So over here also we are selling 5,000 worth of stock for each of the stocks in this particular list. All right, and the positions detail, and also for this, the exit for the set number 2 is basically the upside crossover, where candle number 1 is greater than the super trend, with the close of the previous candle is greater than the super trend, and the close of the previous to previous candle is lesser than the super trend. That is basically the set number 2 exit will be similar to the entry condition of set number 1. All right, so it's a very simple crossover condition. So we will just see after creating this strategy what kind of trades it has taken. So this is the strategy, right? So let's go to Reliance. So if you see in Reliance, what it has done is it has taken entry in the buy side, right? At 1:37 p.m. it took entry on the in Reliance stock on buy side worth 5,000 rupees. So as you can see, one share value of Reliance is 2392, and hence it has taken 2 shares, that is approximately around 5,000. So always remember that whenever you put a value of 5,000 or any value that you put over here, right, obviously the exact value of share will not be exact 5,000 rupees. So what it will do is it will round off to the closest figure. So whatever is the closest figure to 5,000, it will take that value for each stock. All right, that is same on the short side also. So as you can see, after entering into the long position of 2 stocks at 1:37 p.m. it exited at 1:43 p.m. Whenever there was a downside crossover in super trend, and it exited that particular stock. All right, and then after that at 1:43, since this was a short side condition that was met, what it did was it also took entry in that particular stock on the short side. As you can see, this is the entry trade on the short side, and this is the entry trade on the buy side. All right, so it took the short entry and then it exited the Reliance stock at so and so value at 1:54 p.m. All right, so as you can see, even though there might have been multiple super trend crossovers based on the condition that we have done, since we put the restriction using the positions detail, what it did was it basically restricted the entry on the buy side to just once, and on the sell side to just once. All right, so that is basically for Reliance. Similarly for TCS, if we see, it took entry on the buy side at 1:41 p.m. worth so 2 shares, that is 5,000 rupees, and also it entered at 1:47 on the short side. All right, so it entered once on the buy side and once on the short side of similar value, and it closed the position at around 1:51 p.m. whenever there was an exit condition that was met. Similarly for Tata Motors also, it took a short position at 1:46 p.m. at for buying 12 shares, since it is 434, so around 12 shares would be 5,000 value worth. So it took that entry into Tata Motors, it exited at so and so time. Again it took entry on the buy side at the same time, because the short side exit was basically the buy side. So that's the reason why I took an entry in the Tata Motors position and then again exited at so and so price. All right, and that's what they did. This strategy did for Infi also. But Infi, in this case, there was just one trade because there was no crossover condition. So the reason why we are saying this as 1:41 p.m. is and all the trades that are happening at so and so time is because I deployed this strategy today afternoon at around 1:40 p.m. All right, so at around 1:35, 1:30 in the afternoon, I deployed this strategy. Or else, if I had deployed this strategy in the morning at around 9 o'clock, then we could have seen the trades from the morning as well. All right, so this is how this positions detail condition works. All right, I hope this is clear for the first example, and in the coming part of the video we will also discuss the remaining examples. So we will discuss a lot of examples of position detail of how you can restrict the number of trades as per your liking. All right, okay.